Good morning, everyone. It is finally the weekend, and it is time to work on my new project car, budget E36 build for the channel. And so today what we're gonna do is focus on these brakes and them coilovers, because we gotta get this car on the ground, we gotta get it driving, so then we can drop it off over to this area so we can raise it up and then do the whole front end and then do pretty much everything else we need to do. But I've been really dying to put some parts on this thing because for the past 2 weeks I have been collecting parts and I have not been able to install any of them. Look at this. I've got a whole trunk full of parts. So the first order of business before we get all dirty with the E36 is we gotta run some errands. The first errand is off to the DMV so we can make this car legal. Not gonna show much of that, but that is the title. So gotta head to the DMV, run some errands, title in there. I gotta clean up this workbench of an S2000. Shit. Oh guys, by the way, I shaved my head. Y'all like it? To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of how it looks, but I am the biggest fan of how it feels. I put it right here. I didn't know where else to put it without it flying off, but all right, let's go to the DMV. Incomplete. God damn it. I forgot to bring my smog paperwork, so she couldn't complete the registration, and that really sucks because I can't come back here. They close in like 20 minutes and I live 20 minutes away, and they're closed on Sundays, and I work from what 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. so it's like I can't get this completed for another week, and that was a whole hour of just nothing. So that's fun, whatever. Going home now. I lied. I'm not going home. I had to stop for a tasty treat. I deserve it. All right, so just got back home, and yeah, that was quite the fail. Needed the smog paperwork. I don't have that, so that means I either have to get that from the previous owner or I have to go and get it smogged myself. And the process of getting OBD1 cars smogged is for some reason a lot more difficult than it should be. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue on and let's get these brakes done, because I need these brakes done, quite honestly. I had to pick up this thing, which is a Torx bit kit. Apparently the BMWs use Torx, and I've never heard of this, but yeah, I had to get these. This was about $30 on Amazon. Came with a bunch of sockets and stuff, so that should be fine for the brakes. So yeah, let's go ahead, get started. All right, so we're on the ground now, in front of the wheel. This is what it looks like. And yeah, I don't really know what the hell I'm looking at. It's probably gonna be a lot of running back and forth to the toolbox because I don't know what tools this thing needs. So I got my bits, I got my impact driver, random shit. So I think the first order of business is we have some Torx nuts that hold on this caliper, and I don't know what size they are. So let's figure that out right now. All right, so I got the 2 Torx bits out. Now we have this like metal clip looking thing, and I don't really know how this works. I think maybe I just pry it off. It's gonna fling at me. I don't, how the hell is this supposed to come off? Maybe like, there's gotta be a certain way this works, and I don't really want to bend it. All right, I feel like I'm bending it. I'm not gonna touch that anymore. Yeah, how the hell does this come off? I have no idea. I'm sorry, what? How did he do that? Oh, Jesus. All right, well, that works. Figure that out. Okay. What the heck? It's like a brake line. Oh, is this like a sensor for the wear? No way. That is so freaking cool. I actually kind of regret buying brakes now because these have like a ton of life in them. What the hell? Oops. I guess I only really needed a rotor and a fluid change. But oh well, I got new brakes. All right, step one. Get your rotor and put it on upside down. Like that. Because we have to use brake clean to get this thing clean because it comes in oil. So I don't have brake clean, I'm using carb cleaner. But that should be fine. Grab it and flip it. Just like that. Then use your brake clean or your carb clean. And then now we're good to go. Check out the brake pads I got. They're Brembos. Brembo brake pads. They're actually pretty cheap on Rock Auto. The whole thing for the 4 rotors and the 4 sets of pads were like $130. It really wasn't bad. 130 bucks. And we got their new pads. Brembos. Look at that. Look how fresh that looks, man. Came in the nice packaging too. David Beckham's even on here. So now, slap that on there. Just like that. Look at that. Look at that red. That's how you know it's premium quality. See, I don't know where this thing connects to. I'm just honestly not gonna connect it. It seems useless. I'm probably gonna eat my words after that. I am now tightening on the caliper screws, or caliper bolts. And then that is one brake pad, or one brake side done. One side done. All right. Sweet. That's one done. We're making good progress. Let's see, what's entailed in a coilover for a BMW here? So we have a shock. Oh, we have bolts back here. Then we have a bolt up here. All right, so it looks like it's 3 2mm that hold this shock in place, and then 2 bolts on the top, or maybe 1, most likely. And then we can just pull it off and put the new one on, but usually it's not that simple. All right, so the brakes are done. Pads and rotors are completed. And I just went to go try and bleed the brakes. However, what happened was I don't have the right size wrench. I only have a 10. That's the lowest one I've got. And I think these are a 7. So I'll have to get that. But I think what we're gonna do now is finally install these coilovers. I've been waiting to do that for quite some time now. So I'm yanking my coilover box out of the trunk. Jesus, is that heavy? Yeah. Oh, man. That is a heavy box. So, here's what we got in the coilover box. Bunch of coilovers. These are, you know what? Got no idea what these are, if I'm being honest with y'all. These are a no-name brand coilovers. I got these off of a friend, and I paid $50 for them. So I'd say that's pretty good. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Yeah, I don't know if these are even working. Oh, okay. Well, I found the brand, Max Speeding Rods. Surely the Max Speeding Rods will be fine, right? I don't know, man. Max Speeding Rods. Yeah, I don't know. Max Speeding Rods don't have the best reputation. I don't give a shit. Because these were only $50, and this deal that I got from my buddy is probably saving me a lot on budget here. So even though these aren't great quality. They do have camber adjustment, and it's gonna be better than the stock, at least for my use. If I was building a daily driver, I would keep the stock. However, we are not doing that. So the used max bean rods have got to work. Okay, we should come out now. Aha! Yeah! Oh wait, we have a lot of lines connected to this thing. Ah, shit. We have a lot of lines. Ugh. Not the good lines either. We got all these lines right there. We gotta disconnect those. I should have done this first, but whatever. Oh, this, yeah, I really should have done this first. Oh no. This brake line, there's a lot of weight on it now. Uh-oh. Maybe I should have looked before I started removing shit. Ugh. Oh, crap. Shit. This was a lot more problematic than I thought. Right now, what I'm trying to do, if you can't tell, is the brake line that is hooked onto the actual shock will not come off. And because I already removed the bolts, the whole hub is kind of falling backwards, pulling on the brake line. And that is definitely not good. I got it out. That was not easy. But now, this freaking hub is like falling backwards, putting a lot of stress on the brake line. That's not good. I gotta get something to, oh my God. I gotta get something to hold this up. I'm gonna not only balance the hub from falling over, but the shock is heavy as shit. And then you have to like line up the 3 bolts. That's not easy, man. Nah, that's kind of tough actually. That is real tough. I wedged the wheel in there so that the hub wouldn't fall forward. Oh my God, dude. That was a freaking struggle. All right, so now I'm gonna match up with the stockies with the PP rods, because I don't know if it's directional. I'm pretty sure I could just like spin it, so it's not really like that big of a deal. But this is a lot of work, so I gotta be sure. So I go this way. Okay. So that is like that, that's like that. And if I do this one, it's on the other side. So we'll use this one. All right, how the hell am I gonna get this thing in? I have no idea. This is a terrible design. Oh my God. It is falling so aggressively forward and putting so much strain on that brake line. Who the hell thought of this idea? This is so stupid. Let's just, all right, these are 15s. Whoa, nope, wrong size, wrong size. Oh, shit. we go. That's much less violent. Sweet. Now I gotta get the lower 2 bolts. And that should be good. This is so stupid. Check it out. Brakes and coilovers are done. Well, at least this one was done. And that was awful. I'm not gonna lie. That freaking sucked. Let's do the rears now. Moving on to the rears, it looks a lot simpler. Looks like we just have a shock, and we've got a little 1 bolt right there, probably 2 up here in the trunk, and then I probably need to drop this thing so that the spring can come out. I haven't seen a YouTube video or really any tutorial explaining how to do this. I probably should, but the rears look a lot more simpler. I don't gotta deal with like lines everywhere, you know? So let's go ahead. Oh, Jesus. That came out a lot faster than I expected. Cool. Does this seem right? Is there something else I have to drop here? Was that not it? Uh-oh. Well, I digress. Let's get this trunk open. I totally forgot about interior. I mean, I'm ripping it out anyways. Can I be rough with it? Oh, look at that. That just came out. Come on, get out. That is... All right, that's a little sketchy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little nervous. I need a light, I can't see. I could just pull this back and it'd be fine. It doesn't look like that's the case. And quite honestly, I'm getting a little upset. Quite honestly, I'm getting a little upset here because apparently there's a 9 million things you gotta remove. Oh my God. This looks a lot more involved than just moving a few sort of panels. Quite honestly, I thought it would be pretty simple to just remove, but it looks like that's not the case. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure this out a little bit more. So I'll be back. Okay, you know what? I can't figure out how to remove this carpeting. So quite honestly, I'm cutting through. Look at that, little access flaps. Haha. Look how easy that is. Oh my God, that's really freaking tight. All right, time to pry out these springs right here. And this is the closest thing I have to a pry bar. It's like for like a fireplace. Yeah, I don't really know how to do this, to be honest. I shouldn't have disconnected the bolt that goes on the upper arm right here, because now when I step on the hub, it doesn't bring the spring down. And I just tried for 10 minutes to try and get this bolt back in the hub, and man, I can't get it at all, so. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna try and pry this thing out with a fireplace thing. Oh, yeah, success. Well, that worked. That worked quite nicely, actually. Cool. Bouncy. Now I can probably get this back in a lot easier. All right. With the stock spring out, it's time to throw in the max speeding rod spring. It occurs to me I don't know how this goes on. Okay, I think it's like this. Oh, I can't get it out there. Right, I don't know. Looks fine to me. All right, so I think I figured it out. I got the rear spring in. Now I need to get on this guy. So that's gonna be a little difficult just without any sort of help. But yeah. So I'm just gonna slap this in here. Ugh. Put it, line it up with the holes. No one told me I needed different hardware. My bolt is way too short. All right, just got back from the hardware store and I picked up some longer bolts. You see that? So it screws right in, and you can see we have a lot more threads. I also had to go to Harbor Freight because I did not have a 7mm wrench, and that is what is needed to bleed the brakes. So let's go ahead, get this last shock on, and then bleed them brakes, and then we're good for a test drive. And we're back. So we got the other side done. So all 4 coilovers officially installed, brakes and rotors also officially installed. I have not yet bled the brakes because the E36 calls for .3, or it calls for .4, and I only have .3, and I'm really not in the mood to go to the store. So I'm gonna deal with that another day. Honestly, quite honestly, I'm dealing with that another day. You can see how dirty my face is. I apologize for that. But I ran into some issues when doing the last 2 coilovers. I had to rethread the top hat nuts. So the 2 nuts that are on the top hat, I had to rethread them because they were stripped. Not only that, but the bolt that I got from the hardware store for this lower arm, it was too long. So it kept bottoming out and there was a big space in between. So what I had to do is pull out the vise, go like this, and then I had to pull out my cutting wheel, and I had to trim down the end of the bolt. So I trimmed it down by like ½ inch, or I trimmed it down a couple threads, and I was able to get that in with no issues. So that is all good to go. And yeah, everything's all tightened down. So now, I guess we're ready to put the car on the ground and go on a test drive. I'm a little nervous because when it comes to like the height of the coilovers, I did not touch them before installing them on the car. I literally just threw the coilovers on, didn't even measure, didn't do anything. So I'm afraid that it's gonna be really, really low. Too low, because I hate dealing with spanner wrenches and stuff, so I just didn't want to deal with it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the car on the ground. This is a 2-finger gap. I guess this isn't slammed 2 fingers. I don't really run any of my cars low 2 fingers because I like functionality, but holy crap. Yeah, this thing is visibly so much lower. That's crazy. And 2 fingers. It actually all looks pretty even. Oh yeah, there is zero bounce now. Oh, that is stiff. Check it out. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like that. All right, first test drive on the coilovers, the $50 max speeding rods. Let's go, let's take a corner here. Oh, that is much stiffer. It doesn't feel terrible at all. It's definitely a lot stiffer though. You can kind of see me bouncing around here. Oh, yeah, much stiffer, but it's good. It's good. Oh yeah. Now we're becoming a drift car, quite frankly. All right, and just like that, the coilovers, the brakes are done for the E36. This was great progress for this car. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you. Peace.